Tonight, a mysterious disappearance at sea has a heartbroken family struggling for answers tonight. 2 months ago, their father left the Fort Pierce Inlet reportedly to go fishing, but has not been seen since. In their first interview, the family tells us they think the circumstances are highly suspicious. Investigative reporter Terry Parker joins us live from the last place Dale Hosfield was seen alive with a story you will only see on WPBF 25. Terry?
Right, May 18th, 68-year-old Dale Hosfield leaves the Fort Pierce Inlet. He'd asked his brother to do the usual, go fishing, puttering up and down the coast, catch a few nice ones, but his brother couldn't go. So apparently Dale left alone. 4 hours later, his boat was found still running on a beach in Melbourne, and Dale has never been seen since. Now his children tell me they find his disappearance highly suspicious.
I think there's a lot of things that just don't add up. I think there's some questions that remain around his disappearance and death.
Gabriel Whalen and his sister Melinda Hosfield say their dad, Dale Hosfield, loved people, and it would be unusual for him to go fishing alone. And what's even more strange, they say the GPS on his boat showed it went out to sea about 40 miles, then turned and came back north to Melbourne.
It went out, which was not his routine, and he was a creature of habit. And then it kind of like suddenly does some turns and goes all the way up the shore to Melbourne, which he never went to.
And not only that, but there was no indication he was fishing.
The fact that he was out alone for that length of time and that far from shore just doesn't seem to make sense. He wasn't fishing. There's no bait or anything like that on the boat.
The Coast Guard found Dale's keys, wallet, cell phone, and shorts on the boat, which was running and in neutral. But on a crystal clear day with good visibility and a Coast Guard search of over 3,200 square miles, Dale's body was never found.
My thought is that he got wrapped up in something, and I think somebody was out there on the water with him that day. And I think they disposed of him.
It's an agonizing mystery for Dale's children, but they're determined to find the answer.
I really just want to try to figure out what happened to him. I can't bring him back, but I can try to do everything I can to figure out.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The FWC is conducting the investigation, and they've told the family that they expect their final report to be complete in just a few days. And the family is wondering, of course, will this report be looking into these mysterious discrepancies, or will they write Dale's disappearance off as just an accident at sea? If you know anything, please contact the authorities. Live in Fort Pierce, I'm Terry Parker, WPBF 25 News. Dale Hosfield's children tell me too many things don't add up. They think someone could have killed their dad and have given possible motives and evidence to investigators, such as a newly discovered brand new life insurance policy. But they're worried no one is looking into possible foul play. It's been over 2 months since Dale Hosfield left the Taylor Creek Marina on his boat and then disappeared without a trace. And his worried children say no one is giving them any real answers.
To be honest, right now, I don't think that anyone is actively investigating my dad's disappearance. And I'm a bit concerned that some of the things that we have been discussing with law enforcement before have maybe gone to the wrong agencies and been lost in the shuffle.
One problem, 4 different law enforcement agencies are involved. Brevard County Sheriff's Office, Indian River County Sheriff's Office, Florida Fish and Wildlife, and the Fort Pierce Police Department, where Melinda went Wednesday looking for answers.
They said it's not their case, and they were assisting on the initial finding of the boat, and that was it.
Dale was last seen alone on his boat leaving the marina in Fort Pierce. Carissa Wilson was there that day and says what happened next gives her chills.
Extremely suspicious. I'm sure his family would agree also. It's extremely suspicious.
Because Dale's boat came ashore, engine still running, but with no one on board, about 45 miles north in Melbourne Beach. And GPS showed it had gone out 44 miles before turning north, making a sharp U-turn and then coming back. Brevard County deputies responded and then handed the case over to Fish and Wildlife. But Melinda and her brother are worried that a wildlife agency may not be looking into what they call suspicious circumstances, such as Dale going out alone, going out so far with no fishing gear. And then there's this.
There was a life insurance policy open 10 days before my dad went missing.
So did FWC process the boat for evidence of possible foul play? Someone drove it back to the marina just hours later.
Once the boat was here, there was nobody here taping it off or investigating it or to see what was left on the boat.
Indian River County detectives tell me that's because FWC found nothing suspicious. Quote, they did look it over. They said there were no signs of blood. There was no signs of a struggle. There was just no indication that anything else occurred on that vessel. Melinda says they just want to be assured their dad's disappearance is being fully investigated.
But if we do find out that it was just some random accident, then that's what it is. But he's my dad, and I need to know, however long it takes.
The lead FWC investigator tells me they did conduct a full investigation. The report is complete, and they are waiting for approval before releasing it. If you saw Dale Hosfield on his boat May 18th and know whether he was alone or with someone, please contact FWC or the Indian River Sheriff's Department. Terry Parker, WPBF 25 News. I've got the FWC investigative report, and its conclusion has Dale Hosfield's children frustrated. They say there's not enough evidence to conclude he fell off his boat, and plenty of suspicious circumstances to suggest foul play. And what really surprised them, found buried in a supplemental report, apparently there is surveillance video of something or someone mysteriously going overboard.
911, where's your emergency?
It's in South Melbourne Beach on the ocean. There's a boat that has washed ashore. There's nobody in it.
So where was Dale Hosfield, the 68-year-old Vero Beach man last seen in good spirits, leaving the Taylor Creek Marina in Fort Pierce May 18th? His boat washing ashore 4 hours later, 50 miles north, the engine still running, the throttle in gear. Dale's clothes, wallet, cell phone, and dentures were on the boat. But Dale, a strong swimmer in good health, had disappeared just offshore. Now, almost 4 months later, a newly released investigative report by the FWC concludes this incident is believed to be a boating accident with the operator and sole occupant falling overboard.
It is ridiculously frustrating.
Dale's children, Gabriel Whalen and Melinda Hosfield, point to what they call suspicious circumstances, details they believe investigators ignored. 2 weeks after Hosfield took out a life insurance policy, he left the marina at noon all alone, which was unusual for him. He didn't buy ice or beer like he usually did. And instead of staying inshore, his boat's GPS shows he went east 22 nautical miles before heading north past Melbourne, making a sharp U-turn and heading south along the coast. According to FWC, at 5:08 p.m., about 525 yards offshore, the boat suddenly slowed from 31 miles an hour to 0, and 2 minutes later, witnesses found it washing ashore.
But it's a really nice boat and kind of scary because one of the motors was still running.
Mysterious for sure. However, one investigator writes, I did not see anything on the boat that would indicate foul play or any kind of struggle. But what investigators did find shocked Gabriel when he noticed it buried in the report. One line saying, at approximately 17:05 hours, video surveillance monitoring the area captured an unidentified object presumed to be Hosfield fall overboard and enter the Atlantic Ocean, causing a splash.
And I don't know how someone makes that assertion or presumption just because there isn't blood on a boat.
Gabriel says someone could have boarded the boat, killed his father far offshore, and then jumped off when the boat slowed and swum to shore. He wants to see the surveillance video of the mysterious splash himself.
If it was him, I'd really like to see it. Because if it was him, then going into the water, then I guess we'll be done here.
Not fully done, however. Gabriel is considering hiring a private detective to dig into the circumstances surrounding Dale's life in the weeks leading up to his disappearance. If you saw Dale Hosfield, please call detectives at the Indian River Sheriff's Office or FWC. Terry Parker, WPBF 25 News.